This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
You get a John personalized kiss in the mail.
Oh,
He'll kiss anything that you send him, and
Anything?
he'll send it back to you.
Kiss.
Don't send me dicks. I don't want to.
He doesn't want to kiss a dick, but he'll kiss anything else.
Chris.
I know, Chris. You've had a dog before, but
I had a rabbit, and I feel the same way about the rabbit.
And Justin.
I would
I'm like,
date her if
yes,
I had
ma'am,
to.
please.
Yes, ma'am. No.
Please control me, please.
You want me to tell him to go away? All right.
Step
go
on
away.
me, please.
Zula is an incredible character. Like, what did
I wish she would step on my face.
She.
I would
Me?
have somebody
It's
step
just-
on me, but
The episode starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia. We revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s.
don't worry, we'll.
Yeah, man. We haven't
We
done
gotta
that
be
in a
PC
long
on this
time.
podcast now.
What is it?
Pew, pew, pew.
Can't talk about guns.
It was a water gun.
Squirt, 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 squirt.
Squirt, squirt.
Isolation has made me very angry.
Oh.
Even more grumpy than usual, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and just dive right into the fun facts. Or no, wow, fun. Jeez, it is so early. Let's dive
You know,
into
it's not even that early, everyone. This is noon.
This is nostalgia news, okay?
We
got
do
it.
It's 12
news.
o'clock right now.
All right, so play the theme song, music, nostalgia news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. All right, what's the breaking news, Justin?
I don't know. It's Chris's thing.
Oh yeah, I have a
All
couple.
right, Chris, what's the breaking news?
So, Space Jam Space Jam 2 got an official title and logo.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. Space Jam: The Legacy. Is that what it is? Space Jam Legacy.
New Legacy.
The new legacy.
Yeah.
It should just be called Space Jam 2. You know this is gonna suck, but you'll see it anyway.
I think it's.
That's not true.
Yeah. I think it could be good.
It's not going to be good.
great.
You're lying to yourselves.
No, I think it's gonna be great.
No.
I like the logo. I think it looks pretty cool. Like with the A, who does both the space and the jam.
Have you seen LeBron James act?
I have
Yeah,
nothing.
no
idea who
It's
he
nothing to do with LeBron James.
No, he was in a Trainwreck, and he wasn't bad in that. I mean,
Yeah.
he was,
It has nothing
Like
to do with
that's
LeBron
the
James'
best friend?
acting skills.
Yeah.
Here's my problem.
All right.
Number one,
Let's hear it.
Looney Tunes nowadays sucks ass.
Okay. I haven't watched
So-
it.
Did you say Looney Tunes today sucks ass?
Oh yeah, and even back then, like, it was bad. Like
Oh,
Okay.
it wasn't.
that's a-
It's not good Looney Tunes anymore.
that's a hot opinion, but okay.
I don't think it's a hot. No, Looney Tunes itself is fine, but new Looney Tunes, especially with Space Jam, sucks.
Okay.
I disagree, but okay. So
So
It
you-
sucks.
Do you have any other opinion about this?
Me?
Yeah.
I got plenty of opinions. It all sucks.
Fair enough. I think that I think it could be good. I think this is a really good time for them to release this like logo and stuff because of The Last Dance being aired, which is an incredible documentary about Michael Jordan. I don't know if you all
Is it gonna have the over-sexualized bunny in it?
Well, that's the only reason I'm going to see it, so I hope so.
So the documentary about Michael Jordan, like the Bulls
Yeah.
or whatever, is that on like ESPN?
yeah,
Plus
it's on
or something?
it's on ESPN. You can. I've been recording them every week.
right.
The other nostalgia news that Justin doesn't think is news, but I kind of want to talk about it anyways, is they released a concept art for Power Rangers the 2, like the movie that they made a couple years ago, a live action movie. They made I don't want to say live action. The whole Power Rangers live action.
Power Rangers is live action.
But
Okay.
the movie they made a couple years ago, the reboot, and then they made a plan for a sequel where they're going to introduce the Green Ranger, and they released concept art of the Green Ranger. Justin, you have some thoughts?
It looks just like the Green Ranger from the movie.
I know, but it's a picture with this sword.
It's just, he's got some gold on it.
I
But
think it
he's
looks
got
good.
a sword.
Yeah, he's got a sword, and it's green.
No, it doesn't look.
Justin, he's green.
I didn't really like those suits as much, and I really wish that movie did better because I actually like the cast of that movie, especially Dante I don't say his last name, and then the Pink Ranger. What was her name?
Naomi Scott.
She plays Naomi Scott. I like those two a lot.
Yeah.
And you know,
I don't think you're fully understanding that it's a Green Ranger, and it's going to be in the movie.
I understand it.
Okay.
And it wasn't. It just didn't look any different. Oh, I got some gold around myself. Like, where's the shield and stuff? And he doesn't have a sword. He has a dagger. That's when he's evil. When he has the
Swords are
sword.
better.
So this week we revisited a show that I really enjoyed as a child, and pretty much through 2010, whenever it stopped airing. But we watched the season 2 of Smallville.
As in, he didn't shut up about it all through high school.
That's right.
Him or
And
John.
a little bit in college.
A little bit of college. Me and John watched the finale together.
We did.
Yeah.
It's cute.
At my apartment, and
Yeah.
that was the day that you burnt the popcorn
That was
in
the
my
day I burnt
apartment, and like smoke went
I still
everywhere.
have that picture somewhere.
A day
I'll
of
find it.
infamy.
Yeah, that was bad.
All right. Anyway, play the theme song.
It's a good one.
Superman.
That's not how it goes.
It's not really Superman
Did
in
you
this.
even watch the show?
It's been actually. It's been a few days.
That's not how it goes at all, Justin.
So let's remind
Thank you,
everybody of the history of that we have with this one. So I'll go first, I guess. Mine. Season 2 was when I started watching it. It's kind of when I realized what it was about, and so this is kind of when I jumped on. So I do remember watching this. So maybe a little more fond memories of this season than most, because this is when I actually remember watching it. But yeah, I loved this show. I watched it up until season 10, and it was hard to watch sometimes because it gets pretty bad later on. But
Like season 7 or
season
something
7 on is rough. But I powered through to the end and to a very mediocre finale.
I started watching it, I think, season 2 as well. Maybe a little bit into season 1. But I remember a lot of these episodes.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the same way where you felt like, oh yeah, like I remember a lot of these?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I really liked it. Okay, so I was thinking about this, and a lot of this is not a superhero show. Like, there's Superman, he has powers, but this is like it's a high school show. It has a bunch of drama.
Yeah.
And he likes,
Yeah.
like, type of thing.
And just
And,
enough
like,
superhero stuff.
There's a love triangle in here.
Yep.
There's a best friend that's kind of, like, bad.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. It just reminded me. I was like, man, I used to not like that. I used to think that I didn't like these type of shows, but I remember like eating this up when I was little and relating to it so much when it came to like some of my relationships.
We all had a Chloe who liked us and was kind of annoying, and we all had a Lana who we were pining after. We all had it. Justin, I know you did. I can think of 2 examples right at the top of my head. Go ahead, Justin.
We're not going to mention them.
We won't mention them, but we all know.
I really did not like anything like this when I was in high school, and I don't like it now.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, come on. You liked season 1, didn't you, when we watched it?
Wait, hold on. Justin, you just said you didn't like this?
You didn't listen to me. I said I don't like stuff like this,
Okay.
like this kind of show.
You liked
don't
season
like
1, though, didn't you, when we watched it?
It was okay, but I felt like it was very different than this. I thought this season was a lot more drama-y and soap opera-y.
Well, they got to stretch it out 10 years.
that Tom Welling, he's a lucky dude. This season, man, I felt so jealous. Like,
Dude.
it hurt.
You know I don't
It
talk
was hurting me. How jealous I felt of it.
This kind of started, this season for me is where I'm getting into the more of the, this is a WBCW show. I don't like these kind of
What is
shows.
that supposed to mean?
It's gonna be a rough couple of years for you because we're gonna be watching this for a while.
That's the majority rules.
Now, I'll say there are aspects that I like.
Okay.
There's still things I like about it, but the overall like structure and stories of this, it's not my cup of tea. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that I don't necessarily like it.
So let's get through the episodes that we watched, and then
Yeah.
Justin, you can tell the fun fact. So we watched episode 1 through 4.
Yep.
We watched episode
Hang on.
7 through 8.
7 and 8,
Yep.
and then 10 through 14.
10 through 12, basically.
14 through 17.
Yeah. 14 through 17.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, 14 through 17, and then 22
22.
and 23.
Yeah. Before we go any further, I'd like to say one thing. I don't usually talk about women in the podcast,
What
attractiveness. I'm going to talk a lot about Kristen Crick.
a surprise.
That was Chris's crush.
That was my
growing up.
crush.
Like,
That was.
he-
There's not many.
pondered after her so much.
She's everything. So just so y'all know, the reason I thought about watching this now is because I'm actually having my fiance watch it with me, and so we're actually in the first season, and every episode I make a comment until I'm wondering how long does it take her to get really annoyed by me, but I keep saying, well, she's
You're like
perfect.
looking at her,
She's perfect.
and then
and
looking at
don't touch
Lana, looking at her,
You can't
looking
say
at
that
Lana.
to your fiance.
I mean, it's a joke. I was like, Lana Lane can do no wrong. She's perfect. Why weren't you running the Talon when you were 14? But no, it's so
Is she 14 in here?
this one she's 16 or 15 roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, we're in the first season when she's supposed to be a freshman. But yeah, so that might come up a couple times, and I apologize in advance. Okay, so
I mean, there was also a couple of other girls that were in this
Yeah.
season that were kind of good looking too.
yeah, that's true.
So,
All right, Justin, you want to do a fun facts theme?
All right. Somebody save me from the fun facts. There you go.
Okay, thank you. So, I mean, there's a couple of fun facts. We talked about a lot of it last time, but this was shot in Vancouver, Canada. There is an actual...
yes, Middle America.
That's right. There is actually a farm out there that is like that. The way I kind of classify these shows, these seasons, is season 1 was kind of like for people who just have like a general idea of who Superman is. Seasons 2 through 5, I feel like are really like homages to the old Superman movies. And then 6 through 10, you have to like know some deep comic book stuff to know who those characters are. But this is like when we start getting into like they try to slowly tie this into the universe because this is before Man of Steel, this is before Superman Returns. This was like all we had was those original Superman movies, and they slowly kind of try to tie it together with that. Not like an exact prequel, but like just like homages between the two of them. Yeah, so there's a lot of fun facts, but I do want to kind of go as we go. You know what I mean? As we talk about the episodes.
Go as we go. All right.
Go as we go.
all right. So, Vortex was the first episode that we watched.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what this one was about.
This is when he saves Lana from the tornado.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I think it was good. It recapped the whole Nixon thing with that he like knows a secret and he like has to decide. I love how Jonathan Kent like decides to sacrifice himself instead of getting out of there. You know what I mean? He does eventually get out, but you know what I mean? Like.
Oh yeah, this is where Jonathan gets trapped in the cellar.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Did you hate when that happens?
No, I'm just thinking of the Clark.
Clark.
Hey, Clark.
Are you in the cellar?
Are you in the cellar, Clark?
Yeah, it's we put a little clip of that in. I think we did it last time, but we'll do it again.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
It's like the actor Lex Luthor. He's going to like this interview, and he's just like pretending to be like this dramatic actor in this interview. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's pretty great. In most of the episodes, Lex Luthor is wearing a purple shirt, and that's kind of like associated with his character in the comics. I guess he usually wears some kind of purple, or purple is usually tied with him, which I find interesting. You know.
So this was a little bit like darker. The whole episode was Jonathan Kent was trying to prevent this this journalist from exposing Clark's secret.
Yeah.
And they get trapped in like this like cellar place together.
Yeah.
And the guy he's willing to kill Jonathan Kent so he could actually publish this this article about him. And Lex Luthor at the very end of the episode actually kills the dude.
Yep.
Which I was surprised of. Like
Yeah.
I remember seeing this episode, but I don't remember seeing that part.
Yeah. I kind of forgot what happened to Nixon. I didn't remember that Lex killed him until the end, but that was interesting. And then like Lana gets more suspicious about Clark because she's pretty sure that he saved him from the tornado, which he did, but he kind of lies it off. The next episode
That
is really
CG
good.
in that tornado. Oh my god.
What?
That tornado CG.
Okay, this is
You didn't like it when all three tornadoes combined into one big tornado?
that's pretty cool.
I'm not docking for it. It's just kind of funny.
This is
I was
20-year-old
like, oh god.
CGI for television. I think it did pretty well.
I
Next,
like how they make him run.
honestly, I think the running doesn't look that bad.
Okay,
I mean-
so here's the thing that I compare the running to. I compare
Okay.
it to Flash. So
Yeah.
in the Flash, when he runs, at the very end of the run, he's like still moving in the direction that he was running to.
Yeah.
And then he like stops himself.
Right.
Here, it goes from Clark standing right here to Clark standing right here, and then there's just a blur.
Right, and at the end, he just like kind of like jogs back. Yeah. It's. I mean, it's
I don't. Sometimes he doesn't even jog back.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not even
Superman,
jogging.
okay?
He just
He can do
stands
whatever he
stand.
wants.
I'm
just
like,
stops.
oh my god. Yeah, he just stopped. It kind of
Yeah.
bothers me. It looks very clunky.
Yeah, 20 years ago. I'm not faulting it. So next episode is Heat, and I love this idea.
Had a
that-
hottie in it. That's
Krista-
easy.
This started to me. I'm like, really? Okay, we're getting into this.
Are you serious? I thought that was such a genius idea that it's like his hormones is making him have heat vision.
So this is. It's not that I don't like the idea. It's where it kind of started for me this season, where I'm like, is this going to be like way more soap opera than the last? And I was right.
like how Lex is engaged to her because she can kiss, and then she does it to Jonathan at the end. But is that what you're talking about?
Basically,
Yeah.
here's my issue. When people die, because he's constantly horny because he's a teenage boy,
He's had to learn to control it. That's
just
all.
the wind is going to knock him like, oh,
Okay, so in this episode,
Yeah.
Clark gets
when he gets
new
horny,
hot-
he gets his heat vision.
he gets a new hot teacher, and apparently this hot teacher can control hormones. But seeing this hot teacher, Clark gets turned on
Yes.
and starts like doing like this heat vision
Uh-huh.
and like catches a bunch of things on fire every single time. And the whole episode is about sex
Yeah.
and like the heat, like when it comes to like just it being hot outside.
Yeah. It all ties
And
together.
every single place in the school, every single setting, they have a broken AC, which is
Yeah.
really weird. So everyone in the episode is sweating.
Yep.
Separated into other fluids, such as perspiration. The desired goal of all courtship behavior in mammals is to the female. The sperm travels up
Okay, everybody, walk. Do not run. Leave your books.
But yeah, so you have this girl, she controls hormones, and at the very end of the
Pheromones.
episode, she's like, she starts to try to control Clark. She can't. She controls Lex to marry her,
Yep.
and then she controls Jonathan Kent to try to kill Lex so she can inherit all the money.
Yeah.
It's pheromones, not hormones.
Fair
Oh,
enough. That's right.
pheromones, my bad. My
I
bad.
also like how, and I think they did it in the first season too, but I like how whenever they are, this is like whatever they were doing when the meteors hit is what they like their power is associated with. Like apparently she was like having sex when the meteors hit, and that's why she's allowed to control pheromones. I think there's always have a genius idea of what they were doing when the meteors hit to make them like do weird things. You know, I think it's cool.
I mean, the Flash and the Arrow, those
Yeah.
two shows took that idea. So like when
Absolutely.
the particle accelerator exploded, anything that you were doing during that time, you get that power.
yeah.
So I didn't know that they kind of like took that from this show. Well, it does make sense though.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you were sleeping, your power would be to be able to sleep through anything.
Exactly. Like you
Or I could just put people to sleep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wouldn't that be more cooler?
Sandman?
Yeah,
You're
but
the
it's
Sandman.
not as funny of a joke.
I mean, so when
Fair enough.
yeah. Anyway, so
Okay. But then
Clark-
he learns to control his heat vision, and now he has heat vision, which is cool.
because he thinks about Lana
Lana.
every single time that he.
I'm gonna kill you. Lana naked, Lana naked, Lana naked.
Even 20 years later, when he's married to Lois, he has to think about Lana specifically to get his heat vision to work.
Oh, Clark, don't you think about me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're always on my mind when I'm killing people.
And I don't blame him. Lana's a perfect human being, and I would think about her too. Okay, next episode is
Chris, your eyes are getting a little red. What's going on?
Next episode is Duplicity. This is the episode when Pete finds out that Clark has powers. This might be one of my favorite episodes of the season. I really like this one.
This is the episode of when he gets kidnapped.
Yeah, he finds the
He gets
ship,
kidnapped.
and then he gets really pissed because Clark doesn't want him to keep the ship, and then so Clark reveals his powers to him, and then his other guy's trying to find the ship also, and yeah,
This doctor that's
yeah.
working for Lex is
So he
trying to.
Yeah, he kidnaps Pete. Pete kind of tortures Pete, and then Pete says he won't tell him, and then you find so then from now on Pete knows, which is a really cool plot point. And I really like this episode. I think it shows like Pete's struggle at first to accept Clark because he's like, you've been lying to me for all these years, you know. But then at the end he comes through, and now he knows.
See, I guess that I've seen this through so many episodes. If one of you guys told me you had superpowers, I would not be pissed off about it.
Yeah,
So
I'd be
you
like,
lied to
oh,
me for
that
like
makes
5
sense.
So you
That you
lied
wouldn't
to me
tell
for like
anybody?
20 years.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
It's
I
fine.
understand.
Here's what I would be like. Prove it.
Hold me in your arms and jump really high.
Fly me in the air like Superman and Lois did in Superman 1. Show me a human can fly on screen.
and you'll say a poem. Well, I did. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Here I am, like a kid out of school, holding hands with a god. I'm a fool. Now you look at me, quivering, like a little girl, shivering. You can see right through me.
All of a sudden, I just see 2 guys like flying through the air. One's holding them like this,
Exactly.
looking at him.
If one of you could fly, you could hold me in your arms like that any way you want.
There you go. Okay, good. Good to know. Next episode, another genius concept that was made for this season or for this show. Red Kryptonite. It makes Clark bad.
All right.
All right, Justin. Let's hear you crap on over this too.
I felt like, I guess because I've heard y'all say this too much, maybe that's kind of formed my opinion, but I felt like the kryptonite stuff, I liked it at first, but then they used it a couple more times. I'm like, do we need to,
The red
keep
kryptonite
leaning
or
on
kryptonite?
this?
Kryptonite in general.
Kryptonite in general, I feel like.
Interesting.
I'm already kind of tired of it.
well,
I mean,
that's his
okay,
weakness.
so that's what causes all the bad stuff in the show.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I'm not saying it makes it bad. I just don't necessarily like it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't have a criticism of it. I'm just like, we're doing this again.
Right.
Like, we can't come up with something else to hurt Clark. Now we gotta change the colors of the kryptonite. Like,
Oh,
we're already
no,
leaning hard on this to keep him down already. But now we gotta change the colors. I like the concept of it. That changes him. I like that. I'm just, I can already see where this is gonna get out of hand, maybe.
You mean because by the end of this, there's like 30 different colors? Because there is. Yeah, blue kryptonite.
I figured that much.
Yeah, black kryptonite. Yeah, that's great.
I'm more projecting later on,
Sure.
where I can see this really annoying me. Whereas I feel like, okay, you got red and green. Well, now they're just going to come out with every fucking color to serve their story purpose. Am I right on this?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna disagree with that.
I don't think it's bad. I just I can already see where this is going, and I don't necessarily like it because you've already told me by your reactions that they're going to lean on this way too much.
Honestly, though, it's more the last 5 seasons that we're probably not going to watch, where they really get into these like different colors. I think there's only like 2 or 3 more colors you'll see, but maybe one.
Now
This is the only color change that we had this season, though.
Yeah,
I
for
did
sure.
like this episode.
You did?
I think this is pretty funny, and I do like the end where Clark does apologize, you know, but they're like, is that really? I think that's really how he feels, right?
Yeah.
Like he was saying, like their parents were like, I think he actually feels that way,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Which
Honestly,
I think is a good plot point.
and honestly, this was really good acting, I feel like, by Tom Welling. I think he really showed off like the let loose, like, you know, I don't care type of action, you know?
Yeah, I know. I really like the concept of it. This episode does have repercussions within the whole entire season. I probably till the very end of the season, honestly, or kind of towards the end of the season, because when he goes bad, he like tells Lana he likes her,
Yep.
and then like tries to hit on this other girl.
Yeah.
Which so Peyton came in when we were watching this episode, and she goes, "What the hell is she wearing?" When that girl was like had the bra on and had the see-through shirt on.
It was her first day of school. She wouldn't make a good impression.
That's definitely what
And
all
you
kids
could
wore in
see
the
her
mid 2000s.
thong, like
Yeah.
over her pants. I don't know.
Yeah, it
was like-
was weird.
But the first thing I thought of, I was like, man, she could wear that in high school? That's how much my high school.
At least the principal called it out and was like, "That's But yeah, I agree.
But when it came to the acting, I felt like he was kind of out of his element just a little bit. I feel like he did kind of a good job, but there were some moments where I'm like, when he was talking to the principal, he didn't seem like he was selling the bad really well.
Right.
And I don't know if that was supposed to happen or.
Yeah, I thought I looked at it like he's supposed to be getting worse and worse, and then so at first he was just kind of like whatever, and then he got worse and worse and just became a worse person. But
anyway, so the whole episode, Clark is bad. He's going to leave Smallville, and Pete and his dad have to use like green kryptonite to get it off of him.
Yep. And it's cool. It's like as soon as Pete finds out, now Pete has to help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I
So,
liked.
and also this episode, like, he tells Lana he likes her. He tries to go after Lana. Lana turns him down, and then he goes after this other girl.
Yep.
And now Lana doesn't know, like, she doesn't know that he has powers, so she doesn't know why he's acting like this. So he has to try to explain to her, like, why I did this, and he can't.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
she, like, hates him for, like...
What a conundrum.
She hates him for, like, 10 episodes.
Yeah, she does. And I like that, too. I'm glad she like doesn't just forgive him the next episode. Like, it takes her a while, you know?
Yeah.
Because she has high standards and she's perfect. All right. Next episode is Lineage. This is where...
That's episode 7, so we skipped a couple.
Yeah, this is where this girl comes convinced that she is Clark Kent's mother, which is impossible. She's a little nuts. she's got some craziness to her. But I really appreciate this episode just in the fact of I liked how they had the flashbacks to how the whole adoption happened.
Yeah.
And
So-
you have I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the problem I have with a couple of these episodes that are coming up is that something happens in the episode to one person, and then it conveniently happens to like all the other episodes or all the other characters. Like the mom comes in, and it has to do with like Clark's like background, and they're having a project that everyone is talking about their family tree.
Yeah.
And then there's like another episode where I forget what it is, but like they all conveniently like have something to do with each other.
Right.
I'm like, this is
No, I agree.
too much.
I agree. I liked it though. I thought it was a really cool story. I thought it really shows how Lionel is pretty skeezy, and then he hits on her at the end. And we haven't really gotten to this whole thing, but there's more story about this Lucas, the son Lucas. There's more to it than just that he died when he was born. It's pretty messed up, but that's I think next season. So
yeah, Lionel had sex with this girl like a long time ago, and they had a kid.
Yeah.
And it's Lex's half brother, and she is convinced that this half brother is Clark.
Yep.
And it's not because Clark's an
no way.
alien.
Yeah. And then she kidnaps Lex and all the crazy stuff. But let's keep going. Let's keep going just because of.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you right now, this is my favorite episode of the whole entire season.
Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah. So this episode.
Nice little callback.
Yeah, we have a character from season 1 come back. His name's Ryan, and he can read people's thoughts, except for Clark's. And you find out he was held in like a facility that was like doing tests on him, and he was like getting nosebleeds and stuff. And then you find out he had a tumor and that he was dying. And he goes back to visit Clark one more time and kind of visits his last days there. It's a really sad episode, honestly. It's pretty deep.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It showed Clark that he couldn't, because he tried everything he could to save this kid. He even like got a doctor that was like 500 miles away to come see this kid to try to heal him, and he still ended up dying after everything. So I thought the writers did really well writing this episode. It just kind of showed Clark that he can't save everyone, even though he wants to. And like when it comes to a superhero, you kind of have like the perspective of a superhero, because when you're a hero, you feel like you can save everyone. Like when you have like these amazing powers, you feel like, oh yeah, like I can save anyone I put my mind to, basically.
Seriously.
And I mean, and you can't, because when it comes to like kind of disease and like medical stuff, like that's not in your realm of possibility.
Yeah.
So I really liked that episode. I didn't really think of it
Yeah.
until I actually saw this episode, but I don't know, it was really cool.
It's a good lesson to learn for any hero.
And then at the very end, you find out Ryan, like, he actually dies, and Clark's super sad. What's his name actually finds out a little bit about Clark, I felt like, in this episode, but I can't remember what it was. Lex. I felt like found out some stuff about Clark.
Well, there's some weird things. Ryan is suspicious of Lex, and like you can tell he can kind of see where he's heading, you know. And then I think that there's a weird,
like the evil. That Lex is evil.
Why do you think Davilicus went bad?
I'm not sure. Probably wasn't aware of it. You see, Ryan, in life, the road to darkness is a journey, not a light switch.
You should remember that, Lex.
Next episode we watched is Skinwalker. I didn't really like this episode. This is where he finds the caves and the wolves attack. I saw it coming, how Kyla was gonna actually be the wolf.
Yeah, I saw it too. She was really good looking, though.
She was good looking. Not as good as Loki as Lana, but a close second.
I mean, I can argue she was pretty good looking.
But this episode, the only reason I had y'all watch it is because, as John knows, the caves become a very significant part in later seasons. And so when we watch those later seasons, which we are, those are very important.
Let me guess, the Fortress of Solitude is in there.
What? No. That's not it. All right. Next episode is Vicious. This is where we have Whitney Foreman come back. A lot of callbacks this season to season 1 characters. And you have 2 in this one. First, you have Whitney, who comes back from war, and Lana's now conflicted because she is kind of dating Clark and wants Clark, but
she is not dating Clark. They are just friends.
Did you see her look at his wet T-shirt when they fixed the plumbing? She wants.
Did you see his eyes glow red?
And then you find out that Whitney actually died, and it was actually Tina Greer, who's also from season 1. That girl's nuts.
The
shapeshifter.
That's the girl that's a shapeshifter that loves Lana.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Who loves it? Who wouldn't? If I was a woman, I would still love Lana.
I don't know, maybe we should ask some women if they had crushes on Lana when they were watching the show when they were little.
That's a good question. If you watch this, I can ask Carmen. She's watching for the first time.
Is she? Great, Carmen! I have a question for you.
Give her a call.
So, I mean, this was a sad episode just because you found out. This is one of the first episodes that I remembered like watching. I guess I remember Lineage, too.
Yeah.
But I remembered that he actually died in combat.
Yeah.
And but it is really sad because you see him. Everyone even like threw him like a really like welcome home.
Yeah.
And just everyone was like super sad to find out that he actually died, which is it sucks. That sucks.
It's terrible. Do you want to skip ahead a little bit? We're already kind of far into the episode.
Yeah.
Let's just go to like the highlights.
Or like 16, 17?
Yeah, let's go to. I like the fever episode.
Fever episode, that was a sad episode too. That's the episode his mom got sick, right?
Yeah, and then he gets sick. And then Chloe comes and like reads him a note she wrote, and he says Lana.
And now his mom's pregnant?
Sucks.
Oh yeah, and his mom got pregnant from the ship.
Yeah.
Which sounds weird. The ship healed her of not being able to get pregnant, and then she gets pregnant by Jonathan, not the ship.
Are we 100% sure though?
We're not
The
sure.
ship did not impregnate her.
And then you have
it was what's his name? It was actually Clark's biological dad.
yes, Jonathan Kent. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Next episode's probably the biggest of the season. This is Rosetta. This is
Coolest cameo ever.
coolest cameo. Were you surprised, Justin?
I was. I'm glad I didn't know this came up.
Yeah, I didn't want
This
to.
is really cool.
Yeah.
You were actually surprised, Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Did you?
I didn't know he actually showed up in the show.
Did you? Think that,
Christopher Reeve is in this.
yeah, Christopher Reeve's in it. Did you know? Did you think he was going to be in it when you saw the magazine cover, or did you just think they're going to make a reference to him?
I thought it might be a reference.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would actually show up.
So
And I'm gonna be honest. I was like, oh yeah.
So,
It was probably the most excited I was of the whole show.
yeah.
Chris or Justin, I guess, explain the plot of this episode.
I'll explain real quick. So Clark gets like it's weird. He gets like he puts the key in the slot in the cave finally because he finally gets the key back.
His penis
And-
in Lana, is that what you mean? What?
Yes. And he all of a sudden gets like this like weird. He can like read the language that's in the cave for the first time.
Kryptonian.
And then he like burns a symbol in his barn, and a guy named Dr. Vigil Swan sees it and contacts him because he can also read it. And when he goes and visits Dr. Vigil Swan, it's played by Christopher Reeve, and he tells Clark about Krypton, and he shows him a letter that was written about him. And so this is where
He's like really rich.
Yep. So it's huge. This is where you
He has,
learn
like,
that
a lot of
Krypton got destroyed. It's named Krypton. Like he learns everything in this episode. And it's really
learns
cool.
his actual name,
He's
Kal-El.
a Kal-El. Yeah, it's really cool. So a couple
It's
fun
probably my
facts.
favorite episode.
It's really good. It's really good. So a couple fun
It's the
facts.
first time I felt like this was a Superman-ish
Yeah.
show. Mm-hmm. Like we were actually starting to learn more backstory. I'm like, okay, this is what I want more of.
Yeah.
The soap opera stuff is fine.
Yeah.
I'm eating this up.
Exactly.
Side, you also had like a doctor that like got hit by the same language downloaded that Clark
yeah.
did,
Uh-huh.
and he got overloaded and like basically went into a coma.
So this doctor that you're talking about, he was hired by Lex to go and try to study the language in the cave. So a couple of fun facts about this episode in general. So the guy who played that guy apparently was like the biggest weirdo ever. And apparently one time they're filming a scene, and the guy who played Lex Luthor told this story. And Lex gives him a piece of paper with all of it. He goes, "For all I know, this could be Fick and Fatch, like instead of Chicken Scratch." And like he's trying to keep going, like that he didn't just mess up. And Michael Rosenbaum's like, "What the hell?" Oh, that's kind of a funny story. And a funny story about Christopher Reeve. So when this show aired, they showed like clips of the show from the first 3 or 4 episodes. And if you remember, the 4th episode of the show is X-Ray, where he gets the power to see through walls.
Yeah.
And they show the scene of him seeing through the walls of the locker room of the girls changing and like smiling and stuff. And so Christopher Reeve saw that trailer and hated this. And he was like, they are like defacing Superman. This is not what Superman's about. And he got really pissed off. He's like, I'm never watching this show. And they like, so when they came to him and asked him if he wanted to be in it, he was like, hell no. And so they like kind of showed him episodes, like sent him episodes like, this is what we're going for. It's like episodes where they showed like the dynamic with his parents and stuff. And he's like, okay, I get it. And so that's when he's decided to be on the show.
Yeah,
But
that's not a good like intro to see
Yeah.
Clark getting happy about that.
X-raying in the locker room. Yeah, he was pissed. So
I could see why he'd be pissed though, but he never played Teenage Superman though.
no, he didn't. No.
I don't think this has ever been that explored, except maybe in comics as much.
Yeah.
So
And
I can see why he'd be pissed off.
and they took it out, but he wasn't. It wasn't. He was trying to look through the wall. Like he wasn't be able to control it. But then when he saw it, he liked what he saw.
I mean, he was also
Did he?
he was also the man who did Superman 3 and 4. So
His judgment isn't the best. You remember in Superman 4 when he grabs them all the nuclear bombs in a giant net and throws it away? Yep.
and just decides to take away everybody's weapons. Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm just gonna do this.
So yeah. Anyway, this was a really good episode. It's probably the big. He reappears in later on in seasons, but and then I think they actually talk because he died while they were still filming, and they actually do talk about his death.
They have him die in the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does come back, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool how he kind of forced Clark's hand while they were talking.
Yeah.
Because Clark was like, man, I don't even know anything about this. I'm just gonna leave, thinking he probably could come back.
Yeah.
If he ever changed his mind, and he was like, if you leave, like, you're not gonna get anything that you want.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna tell you anything.
He's like, there's a second message, and if you leave right now, you'll never be allowed to come back in. Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Looking for answers, I assume.
Hello, Clark. I've been expecting you.
Can you read it?
Yes.
It says, "This is Kal-El of Krypton, our infant son, our last hope. Please protect him and deliver him from evil."
Kal-El.
Krypton.
I've always wondered what happened to that child. If he survived the journey, if he lived among us.
And then, 3 days ago, I saw the symbol for hope burned under the side of a barn in Smallville. And I found out that the farmer and his wife had an adopted son.
So you think I'm Kal-El? Just Clark Kent.
No. I'm not trying to expose you, Clark. I'm just seeking the truth.
Sorry, Doctor. Truth is, I'm not who you think I am.
If you can live with that decision, so can I. But if you walk out that door, it'll never be open to you again. And you'll never know the second part of the message.
It's really cool.
I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Him explaining all that stuff and him just them having like a geek out moment basically when it came to everything. I thought that was awesome. The next episode that we watched, we skipped like 5.
Yeah.
And then we watched episode 22, Calling.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, this is where...
And this is when they actually... This is when it happened.
Yep. This is when Clark and Lana get together.
God, I'm so jealous of Tom Welling.
Man, that was...
Long lives, man.
Feel hot? Yeah.
Calm down.
This scene, like, okay, so at the very beginning of the scene, she gives him, like, a cake. And he, like, goes for it and, like, just makes out with her. And I'm like, damn, this hurts, man, watching this.
Yeah.
I wish I was that cake.
The only thing that really matters at this one is that he hears a voice coming from the ship, and it's Jor-El, which is pretty crazy. And then that ties into the next episode, which is where Jor-El tells him he has to leave Smallville. And so you guys want to know who voiced Jor-El? You have an idea?
It sounded super familiar.
His name is Terrence Stomp. You'd recognize him if you saw him, but he was also Zod in the original Superman movie.
Huh.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. He voices Jor-El throughout the entire show. So Clark doesn't want to leave Smallville, obviously, so he goes and finds the green meteor rock key that Lionel made that's supposed to be like an exact replica. And he has
to put it in the cave wall.
To put it in the cave.
Cave wall.
Yeah. And he takes it and he puts it in the ship because he knows the ship's going to react to the green meteor rock like he does, and it destroys the ship. Huge explosion. His parents' truck flips over. You find out that because of that she can't have the baby and she miscarries, and then Clark gets really upset and he puts on the red kryptonite and gets on a motorcycle and drives off to Metropolis. Meanwhile, Lex is getting married in a sham, and
another fucking cliffhanger.
And he ends up in a plane crash.
So we haven't been doing points So
I know.
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
go through like points like super fast.
We'll do fast. Sorry.
But yeah, we didn't mention a lot of Lex in this, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of cool scenes with Lex and Clark in there. I know we just kind of mentioned like a lot of Clark's stuff, but there was some really cool Michael Rosenbaum things that were going on.
I think him and the dad are still the best actors in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it was in these 2 episodes where there was a doctor. It was in Fever. A doctor got Clark's blood.
Yeah.
And Lex was dating the doctor and found out that Clark's blood was in her office. And then like one of these episodes, he like steals the blood.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't believe. Or he says, I can't believe you think I would do something like this, because she accuses him of stealing.
Yeah.
And he actually stole it.
Yeah.
And then he later on in that episode, he's like, yeah, no, I stole it.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's good because then he's like,
you're making me feel bad that I thought you stole it, and then you actually stole it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good because then he talks about how he's trying to not be that guy. He's trying to be a better person. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, there was some really cool storylines. It was side storylines
Yeah.
with Lex Luthor, but they were still really cool. He's getting married, and at the very end, I think that was the biggest cliffhanger of the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
At the very end of the episode of the season, Lex is in a plane, or first of all, he was in his plane with his wife, his new wife. And then the next thing you know, he's blacked out, and then the plane's going like nosedive into the ocean.
He's alone, and it's going.
Yeah, he's
nosedive.
alone. No one's on the plane.
Yeah.
And then going with Clark, you have him put on the ring because he feels so bad about everything that he did. He puts on the red ring and goes off with the motorcycle. It leaves Lana just sitting there, which is a stupid decision.
Stay with Lana. She'll make it feel better.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, man.
All right, let's go and
Leaving her
do
on the
points
side over
really
here.
quick. Sorry, we
right.
talked a lot about the plot, but there's a lot of plot in
Yeah.
this, so we had to talk about it.
Plot, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5.
Okay, that's okay. Hey, that's better than I thought.
There's some things I didn't like.
All right,
That's fine.
Main characters.
I would have given it a 5 too.
All right, main characters. You
So,
had-
Clark, we'll do all the people on the screen. Well, not all the people on the screen. We'll do Clark, the parents, Lex, Lana. Well, let's not do Lana. Well, let's do Lana.
Okay, hold on. In my opinion, this is what the main characters are. You have Clark, you have the parents,
Yeah.
you have Lana, and you have
Lex.
Chloe.
You think Chloe over Lex?
I feel like she's in more.
Yeah,
episodes.
she probably is. Okay, we'll say those. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, just because Chloe's like a sex addict, and that's all I can think of when I see her.
Come on, that's not justified. That was much later.
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 too, but not because Chloe is a sex addict.
Because just Chloe's a bad actor. That's all.
I'm gonna
No.
say. Okay.
No, I was just gonna say she bothers me. Chloe bothers me.
Does she?
The mom kind of bothers me too, and I didn't think she would.
Really? What was it
Because,
about her?
okay, so I guess it was just writing that bothered me about her. I felt like I know Clark and his dad had like a very strong relationship. But I felt like if the mom would have jumped in on some of that stuff, he wouldn't have done some of the crap he would have done.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm like, why would you disobey your mother?
That's a good point, I guess.
Like, okay, so like when Red,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, and he like pushed Jonathan Kate like against the truck. Do you think he would do that to his mother?
No, probably not. I get what you're saying. I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah. I would give this a 5. I think all of them are really strong. And I know Chloe's and his mom's a little annoying, but they're also supposed to be, because like they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like there's Chloe's supposed to be annoying. But I would have given it a 5. But that's okay. Minor characters. We'll say Pete, Lionel,
5.
Lex.
5 out of 5.
Yeah. Lionel is an incredible actor also.
Lionel is a really good actor, and
Yeah.
him like pretending to be blind.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Such a genius idea. What do you think, Justin?
Is this side now?
Yeah. Minor characters.
Yeah, I think Lionel and Lex and Lana are off. That's 5 out of 5 for me.
Ooh.
And I like all the callbacks.
Yeah.
They're all good actors and actresses.
I like the kid, Ryan.
Yeah.
I felt like did a really good job.
That's probably my second favorite episode.
What was your favorite?
The
Christopher
one
Reeve one?
Yeah, the Christopher Reeve one. Yeah.
Next is acting.
Three.
It's okay. I'm not expecting much out of this.
There's a couple, like, I like Lex, I like Lionel. The dad is really good. But it goes back to my whole kind of, like, CW, WB drama thing.
Yeah.
I just don't kind of like that. And that's where this is going to me.
I
want to give it a 2, but Lionel and Lex make up for it, so it's a 3.
I'm going to say 3 too.
Okay, that's fine. I wasn't expecting much out of that because there's some rough acting in this. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Tom Welling's getting better.
He is getting better. And he does
but he's not given much to work with, let's be honest.
No. I mean, it's sick face whenever he's around Kryptonite, happy face, and sad face. That's about all he gets. Next, does it hold up?
That's hard.
It's like the same shit. Like, I keep comparing it. It's the start of that WB CW superhero series stuff, and I don't like those shows. For me, I guess technically it would hold up because it's like that, but I feel like the other shows, I haven't watched a lot of them, but I feel like they go more into the lore than this show may do early on.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to give it a low score. It's just so... Because I didn't hate it.
Right.
Like, I feel like... I don't want to hate on it because I enjoyed watching it.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not something I would... I'm not going to go and watch Smallville on my own because I want to.
That's okay.
So, I had a question,
I think it's just a
Chris.
3.
I had a question about this show. So I know they brought Lana in specifically for this show, and I know Chloe wasn't even a character in the comic books until this show, and then she became a character.
Right.
Why did they bring Lana into the show first instead of bringing Lois?
So that is how the comics go. So this show is basically based on a 70s comic run called Superboy, and in that his hometown crush is supposed to be Lana Lang.
Is it Lana? I didn't think she was.
It's kind of like the MJ thing, where they don't bring in MJ at the start because it wasn't MJ.
She's actually in the very first Superman movie, and then she's in the third movie, and in the third movie she's played by a different actress, and that actress is Clark's mom in this show, Annette O'Toole.
Oh,
yeah, twist. But no, she's very different. She's red hair. She's like a preppy cheerleader. They really make a more deeper character in the show, but yeah, she is in it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Because he's like all gun ho. God, she's the one.
Yeah.
This is what I meant.
Yeah, because Lois Lane was never she was never in Smallville, was she? He met her.
No.
At the
She
Daily
met her at the
Planet,
Daily
so
Bugle.
because he was always the farm boy.
Daily Planet.
And there was a lot of fan theories that Chloe was going to turn into Lois Lane, like she was going to be like her pen name when she went to Daily Planet. Especially people were like, all the letters in the name Lois Lane is in Chloe Sullivan, which is true, but people figured that out, which is interesting.
That would have been shitty.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is it's kind of weird how the show is because it has a love triangle.
Yeah.
Between Clark, Lana, and Chloe.
Yeah.
But he's not going to end up with 2 of them. Like either one of them, he's not going to be with.
But I find that interesting.
But they have a love triangle.
I know, but I find it interesting because to me it's like Chloe's not even in the comic, so something happens to her. Lana, what's going to happen that's going to end up being so bad that he doesn't want to be with Lana anymore, or can't be with Lana anymore?
Or why is Lois must be so much better than Lana, even though Lana is the perfect human being?
It's so true because Lois does come in the show and she's not nearly as awesome as Lana, but you know what? That's okay. But yeah, I agree. I find that interesting though. I think it's the whole thing of like what happens to these characters. Why is there no Lionel Luthor in the comics? It's all very interesting. So
yeah.
Okay, so
well, it's just like
It does.
Why can't I not remember who was the girl before MJ in Spider-Man Why can't I remember her name right now?
Gwen Stacy.
It's like Gwen Stacy, you know. When we watch an Amazing Spider-Man, when they try to do that, like know he's not ending up with Gwen Stacy. You know what's going to happen to her. Right. You know, it's all about the build-up. So like, what's going to happen? Like maybe Lana dies. You know.
See, but that was a movie. Like you understood. What I'm trying to say is, you feel more connection with TV characters than you would do.
Wouldn't that make it more powerful though, if something happened to Lana, and then if you have grown this character and then Lana dies? And then suddenly Lois comes in. You're like, wait a minute. We just spent all this time with Lana and Clark. How is he going to get over Lana? How is Lois going to be so much better? So I think that's even more powerful. Like, I get that. It's just that dynamic. Like, in the movies, Gwen Stacy is not going to end up with him, and she's going to die at some point.
See, but you're making me fall in love with this girl. And
you're going to rip it out.
But isn't that kind of the...
You're going to hurt my heart over here.
That's okay. It's
say,
make-believe, John. It's not real.
No, it's not okay.
And I will say this, that when they actually answer the questions, a lot of them are disappointing because they've
I'm not surprised.
For so long. But there is one, and I won't tell who it is, but one death that happens in the comics that they tie it so well to the story is genius. But we'll get there, because we are going to get there.
All right, let's get the points over with.
All right, so does it hold up?
3.
4.
Okay.
I feel like I felt like there was some dated stuff in it.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just because
I think it's all the same shit that they still do now.
CW, I mean Riverdale is just like this.
Yeah.
Flash and Arrow, like they do have like this drama stuff like this when it comes to like talking about relationships and everything like that, and
this kind of started that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I felt like those shows, they rely a lot more on the superhero stuff, and this show doesn't.
Yeah, and I think this show it came out when like people still didn't really understand that like you can go deep dive into comic stuff and people will like it. I think they figured that out once like you get Guardians of the Galaxy kind of shows coming out and movies coming out where like it's just like embrace it. It's a comic book movie. You know what I mean? But before that, they had to attach it to the real world somehow, and so people were really hesitant to do this kind of stuff. But I think this is what makes it like really good.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Desire to continue watching.
Yeah.
I know we're going to.
Yeah, we are.
I just
I will say this. A lot of people consider season 3 to be the best. I disagree with it, but it is a very good season.
This is just not my thing. So I'm going to go 2.
Oh, that's fine.
My desire to continue watching it.
I understand.
I recognize why people like it. It's just not my thing.
That's terrible. That's a terrible score, Chris.
What do you say?
I would say a 5 because I mean, the whole reason I would say that is because when I was watching this, I was enjoying it. Like I was enjoying, kept going like in episode through episode, and I was like, oh man, I wish I had enough time to watch like all of them, not just the ones that you were giving us.
Right.
And that's in like that desire to keep watching. It's still there.
Cool. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I remember what happens after this, which is. But I still want to watch it.
It's good stuff. And then the final is my category, and I really want like a 5 out of 5. So I'm going to say the category is Lana.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Woo! Okay,
5.
No, I'm cool with that. 5 out of 5.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm going to do music. I really like the music this season, and I like how they tie in some of the Superman score.
Music.
Oh, is this not going to go well?
I just thought you could, put in Superman It's Not Easy every episode and it would work. So I'm giving this a 0 out of 5.
Come on. That's not good.
Okay. When it came to the music, I mean, I liked the Christopher Reeves episode because that episode they did have the Superman score in it. And they put the little spin on it, which was really cool.
Yeah. And by music I mean score and like just the flashback of the 2000s music.
The early 2000s punk rock.
In the show, you had like just bands that would come in, and even one of the shows, Pete was like DJing, and Clark's like, "Who is this?" And Pete's like, "Oh, it's this band." And like he threw him a CD, and you had like a perfect shot of like what the band was called, what the CD looked like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Oh man, I thought it was gonna be good. What did you say, Justin?
I mean, I like some of the music, but when the music that had the bands, I didn't like them.
Right. Gotcha.
This is so early 2000s. It hurts.
Great. Okay.
This is like right before. I'm guessing this came out like 2001, 2002.
2002,
So this is like right before a lot of us started really listening to music properly. So this is a little bit before us.
Sure.
And so it's like it's still like all the, you know, really happy pop punky stuff and not my thing.
Okay.
This is a 2.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. It did better than I thought it was going to do. To be honest with you, they got 25.5 points. So
Who's winning right now?
Justin's winning.
Damn it!
Justin has a John. You're in third, but not by much. We're all actually really close. So
I'm
Justin
in third.
Yeah, but Justin has 128 points. I have 124, and John, you have 120. So we're all really close.
What did I score so low on?
Probably a Dragon Ball Z movie.
We didn't watch it this season.
Yeah, we did. Cooler's Revenge was the first one.
We watched that this season.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit.
You also did Sonic. Those two hurt you. My lowest was Birds of Prey, and Justin's lowest was Blues Brothers. So, but it's okay. We still have plenty of time. And you're only 8 points down. You can catch up.
Yeah, you won't probably.
Okay.
Hey, I think the next movie is going to help you. What are we watching?
I don't remember. What is it?
Whoa,
What?
I didn't hear you.
I don't remember what is it.
Liar. Don't edit this out.
So we're watching.
John didn't remember what it was.
You said it literally right before we started.
Don't edit this out.
Okay.
I know. So we're watching Liar Liar.
Okay.
This is my favorite Jim Carrey movie.
Because you hate Jim Carrey.
Huh?
Because you hate Jim Carrey.
I don't hate Jim Carrey.
We're gonna do a little bit of a
I just
Jim
hate
Carrey
I
run
hate
here,
the
actually.
mask Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This movie I really do like.
Okay.
I feel like it's very wholesome. Jim Carrey's super funny in it. A lot of people have seen this movie. A lot of people.
Yeah.
And no, it's gonna be great. It's
I'm
gonna
excited.
be great.
It's been a while.
I think we're gonna do a little bit of a Jim Carrey run here.
We should. That'd be fun.
You can find us on anothermanspod at Gmail. Or I'm sorry, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at anothermanspod. You can also email us at anothermanspod at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitch. We Twitch stream at Another Man's Nostalgia.
We do?
Yes! Yes. Okay.
News to me.
I fucking hate you. But okay. We have a Patreon as well. You can donate a couple dollars to our Patreon. It'll give you a suggestion as well. It helps us out a lot, honestly. If you don't want to watch me stream Twitch, my fiance streams Twitch too.
Hey, no other plugs.
Little plug.
I know, I'm plugging.
That's fine.
She's a little fox.
I don't like this.
So
I don't agree with it.
On Twitch. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
You know what? You go for it.
Okay.
Also, we were recently on another podcast, Prime Nostalgia Podcast. We were on there. We kind of talked about stuff we enjoyed. We talked a little bit about the podcast, both of ours. So we'll put a link to that. I don't think it'll be out before this episode, but whenever it is, we'll let y'all know.
He does some really cool interviews.
Yeah,
he's a really cool dude. We met him when we were doing the podcast. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So
he doesn't like Dragon Ball Z, but
he was also the one who recommended Freaks and Geeks. So he's a good dude. We'll put that. We'll link to that once it's up. And yeah,
here's the thing. He likes Freaks and Geeks, and he doesn't like Dragon Ball Z. And those are the two things I disagree with, like majorly. So even though he doesn't like the same things I like, he's a pretty cool dude.
He interviewed Tina McGee, who played Angela in Boy Meets World, right before us. So are we on the same level? I would say so. I would say that's what that means.
An episode that you can watch before this, The Mask.
Yeah.
I don't know what episode that is, but
I think
I think that's one of the only Jim Carrey things that we've done.
Yeah. It was.
I didn't like. If you want to hear me rant about how much I did not like The Mask, you should go listen to that episode.
For some reason,
season
I
4.
don't know why.
Season 4, episode 7.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
That's pretty much it, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next week with Liar Liar.
Peace.